Okay. Okay, we are rolling. Okay. So let's start with our first picture. So this section is about make your own video on a Mac, PC, or Chromebook. We already covered what people want to learn about, which is the majority of our videos for the class, including promotional videos, how-to videos, and how to use a platform that is easy to use, but also available on different platforms as well, including Chromebooks and PCs and Macs. And somebody wanted also to use an iPad as well, and I suggested to use Adobe Premiere Rush. That's probably the best program to use for that platform, or iMovie. iMovie comes free. Rush, you need to pay a subscription. Okay, we went over the norms, and here we go. Okay, so our session again is how to make your own video. The purpose of this class is basically it's just like take two. Last summer I did take one, where we really went over all the elements needed how to make a video by writing an outline, by writing a script, by filming, by following rule of thirds, all that stuff. And we're going to do a review session today, but our main focus today is going to be on the post-production, which is video editing. So the purpose of this class is to help you make better videos for anything you want, for distant learning, to help tell the story through different media. And I have a bunch of resources, and feel free to always email me if you have any questions throughout the year. My name is scott.rose@salinasuhsd.org, so that's my email. And I'm at Alvarez in the 800s. Okay. So the first part is going to be theory. So we're going to review the key elements on how to make a video. Second part is practice. We're going to practice on how to make a video. And here is a samples of videos from our film festival from 2020. And in here, if you open it up, it's a 2-hour and 14-minute video. And there are different categories. For example, we have narratives, we have commercials, we have music videos, we have promotional videos, we have documentaries. So these are all some ideas. And this is not just me at Alvarez, but it's also collaboration between SHS, so Salinas High School, North Salinas High School, and also Alisal High School as well. Next year, we're going to branch off to Rancho San Juan as well. So if you need some ideas on what kind of videos you want to make with your students, I would recommend to watch that. You could watch it with your students as well. So there's a link to our festival there from last year. Also have one from this year. I can share that with you later. My name is Scott Rose again. I am the digital media art coordinator at Everett Alvarez High School. I'm also the teacher there for the whole AME pathway, which stands for Arts, Media, and Entertainment. So I'm glad you're here in today's session, because you have an expert here to talk about filmmaking, and also somebody who has experience working with Salinas students. What is this, my 6th year? I think it's my 6th year at Alvarez. So I've been there a few years now. So kind of know the population that we work with, at least at Everett High School. But also I get students from Salinas High and from North Salinas High and from Alisal High School, and also around basically all the schools, not Montour though. And so I get those students shipped in sometimes to do like extra stuff. Like for example, I taught summer this year, and I got like a school from every school as well. So I know a little bit about your students from other schools. Here's a great video about what we do in the DMA Academy. So let me show you this short little video. This video was produced by an Academy senior.
Scott, we're not hearing the sound.
The audio's not working? No?
No, it sounds like there's a little something coming through, but we can't hear what it is.
Okay. Let me just try one more thing, because okay, let me stop presenting. Tab. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, because sometimes, technology. Okay, so tell me if you can hear it now. Can you hear it now? No?
Yes, sorry, I was posting. Yep.
Okay, so let me start over real quick. It's only 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Indeed, we do music videos, we make commercials, we make music, and we get to learn about working with cameras, learning how to create sounds with microphones, and all kinds of editing with making videos as well on iMacs.
Yes, I would definitely recommend it because it's a fun experience. You would get to learn many things, like fixing the lighting, taking off the background, all that.
DMA, well, basically all it is just computers, electronics, just all the equipment, everything hands-on. Get to learn, get to experience, get to grow.
I would recommend it because you're getting to spend quality time with people and with the same people for the rest of your high school year, and it's fun.
Me a bit. Showed me how to edit, and also los que nos van a remember what to do with this.
Now get to have one more class with all the people I love.
Join the late today.
Join DMA. See you later.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. And it's a promotional video because we're promoting the DMA Academy. And so that's an example that you could look at.
Hey, Scott, sorry to interrupt one more time. It was real echoey when the students were talking. Is that just because of the way you figured out to play it?
Yeah,
is
but probably. Should be fine once you click the link in the presentation.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. So if you click on this link, you can watch it later. So the reason why I showed you that video is like something that you could create. In that video, a lot of you talked about promo videos, and I wanted to give you an example that was created by several students. Is that you have a series of images that tell a story, and then you have like little sound bites here and there. So sound bites is a sentence or two of what people are saying in the video to explain what's going on. The music helps a lot and carry the emotion of the story. And then finally, there's some graphic design work there as well when you had those pictures, like fun times, or where people were basically frozen, and then they zoomed in or zoomed out to that picture. So that's an idea. I also put in the chat on our DMA website as well. Let's see. So if you go to the DMA website, you can see a little bit about our academy at school. This is a work in progress. Here's at Skills USA. And then I brought this forth because we also have the DMA showcase. And we have a series of videos here as well. As you can see, we have trailers, narratives. So these are all ideas of stuff that you could do with your students as well. All right, so next on our agenda is I wanted to show you, we'll review a little bit about filmmaking and show you this short little video clip on vertical and horizontal recording. So some of you were here last year. So basically this video is telling us to not record like this, vertical mode. And the vertical mode is because this is like for pictures, portraits more specifically. And then horizontal, that's for videos, because if you shoot like this, your videos, you're going to get these black bars left and right. I know there are social media apps that force you to film vertically, but filmmaking is always done horizontally. So here's a short little video, and I have to share it in a different way. So give me 1 second. Let me reshare the screen.
This video didn't have to look this way. It could have been prevented. Say no to vertical videos.
Vertical videos happen when you hold your camera the wrong way. Your video will end up looking like crap.
There are more and more people addicted to making vertical videos every day. It's not crack or nothing, but it's still really bad. There are two different kinds of people who are afflicted with VVS. The first group treats the videos they shoot like pictures. They don't mean any harm. They just don't understand that while you can turn a picture, you can't really turn a video. Vertical video syndrome is dangerous. Motion pictures have always been horizontal. Televisions are horizontal. Computer screens are horizontal. People's eyes are horizontal. We aren't built to watch vertical videos.
I love vertical videos! Nobody cares about you!
If this problem's left unchecked, YouTube will begin showing 4 videos at once, just to save bandwidth.
Letterboxed vertical videos would be the size of a postage stamp.
And it will spread everywhere. Movie screens have always been horizontal. If vertical videos become accepted, movie theaters will have to be tall and skinny.
And all the movie theaters would have to get torn down and rebuilt. And by the time they were rebuilt, Mina Coolitz would be old and ugly.
And birds will crash into them and die.
And we will all get stiff necks from looking up.
And no one will sit in the front row ever again.
And George Lucas will re-release Star Wars again! The skinny edition!
I was never really able to tell the story that I wanted to tell. This is a great chance for me to experiment with a new technology.
You're a jerk.
Every time a mobile device is used to record video, the temptation is there. Just say no. Say no to George Lucas. Say no to old Mila Kunis. Say no to vertical videos.
And if you see someone doing it, say, "You're not shooting that right, dummy!"
All right, did everybody hear that? Yes, okay, good. So basically, it's a funny little video that was shared to me. And to remind yourselves that when you're recording video, to do it horizontally with your phone. Okay, so, okay, thank you, Jen, for sharing our website. So a quick intro of Scott Rose. So my name is Scott Rose. I was born in Italy and raised in Italy, and then I moved over to the United States. I worked a lot as a camera assistant and camera operator back in Italy, doing lots of different production shoots, commercials, mostly promotional videos. Then I came to the United States where I filmed some more promotion videos and commercials in Los Angeles and helped out even small schools to start out with and small businesses as well. And then I got into teaching. First was film. I taught film at Columbia College Hollywood, which is in Tarzana, California, which is a great college. I taught Final Cut Pro and audio production. So film editing or video editing and audio production. And then after that, I taught Italian at different colleges in Southern California. And then what did I do? Oh, then I got a full-time gig teaching film at Marina High School. Then I went to Monterey High School, and then at Alvareztown. I also taught Italian at Monterey High as well. And throughout all this time, I kept doing little gigs in there, teaching at community colleges, for example, MPC, and also more commercials, for example, for Dodge, Honda motorcycles, and so forth. So fun stuff. And also now I'm the coordinator for the Digital Media Art Academy, and I'm also the AME PLC lead for AME Center for Art, Media, and Entertainment for the whole district as well. So our main focus today is post-production. And if you click on this document, so it's a great resource. So let me explain what this is. So if you were here last year, it's the same one. So here are some ideas on how to.
Are you presenting?
Oh, it's not presenting? Okay. Silly goose. Okay. Thank you for that. So on part 2, there is a link right here, post-production. If you click on that link, right there, it will open up to this document. In this document, you'll notice that you have a lot of resources. For example, for filming, probably the easiest and the cheapest thing you could do is use your smartphone to record. But it does have some limitations. For example, proper audio as well, and proper lighting as well. So in my opinion, the best thing would be to use a point-and-shoot camera or a DSLR, which stands for digital single lens reflex camera. But really, the smartphones nowadays are really good. And you can buy a cheap microphone to connect to your smartphone to get much better audio as well. For editing, you have many types of choices. For example, you have Adobe Premiere Rush, which is, I talked earlier about this. To Andrew, maybe it was. And this works on a real computer, home, tablet, or smartphone. It's about $10 for a computer and $5 for a smartphone. What's great about this, it has a lot of great features that you see in the professional program called Premiere Pro. The iMovie is a great tool to use for a Mac or an iPhone. Adobe Spark Video on Chromebook and smartphone. I tried to work with this, and it was pretty bad for video. I mean, it might be able to meet your expectation of what you want it to do, but really the best thing is WeVideo, and that's why we're not even going to cover Adobe Spark Video in this training. We're just going to focus on WeVideo, because in my opinion, Adobe didn't do a good job with Adobe Spark Video. But Adobe does a great job with Premiere Rush and with Premiere Pro. Those are really good programs. Adobe Spark Video, not so much, but it does work on a Chromebook. And Premiere Rush doesn't work on a Chromebook. So WeVideo is where we're going to focus today, and we'll go over that. Okay, so some professional editing programs. If you're interested in becoming more proficient in video editing, I recommend using Adobe Premiere Creative Cloud or Final Cut Pro 10. Adobe Premiere CC comes with a $20 a month subscription, but you also get to download everything Adobe makes, almost everything, including graphic design programs and so forth. Is that free or CB? What does CB mean? Cost benefit?
Chromebook.
Chromebook. So for Adobe Premiere, it's a real editing program, so it will not work on a Chromebook. It will only work on a real computer, which is powerful, like a recent computer that's powerful.
Right. The one you mentioned for the Chromebook, I'm sorry to.
Yeah, the best one is WeVideo. The best one, that's what we're going to focus on today. Adobe Spark Video, that will work on a Chromebook, and that's free. Or there's a free demo starter plan. So WeVideo is paid as well, but it has a free version of it. Okay, and then Final Cut Pro, which only works on Mac computers, and that's a one-time purchase of $300. So here are some enrichment tutorial videos. So for audio, music, sound effects, you have some sound effects here that you can use. Adobe Audition is an audio editing program. The document is in the link. In right here, it's linked. Where'd it go? Right here, under here. I can put another link. Let's see, copy link. Okay, so this is the link to the to this document, and let me put the link to the presentation, which also has a link to that, and the sign-in just in case. Okay. So this I divided in categories. So for audio, if you're interested in making better videos, audio is half of your story. So look at some music and sound effects. Okay. Next, for video editing, there's some great tutorials here that you could use as well. For professional video editing, some great tutorials for Adobe Premiere Pro. For editing theory, craft of editing. So this is another great tutorial that you could watch. It talks about different ways that you can edit. Okay, Rosanna, I think your mic is on. Okay, and then other professional webinars are for there's editing techniques, some camera work and theory, some graphic design. Pixlr is free. There's also another one called Photopeia. I call it Photopeia, but you could say Photopea, I guess. This is another simple, great program to use. I actually used this all year for my graphic design program last year, and some more tutorials for advanced video editing. So you should make a copy of this document so you can refer to it back as you need. The more you know, the more you want to better your videos, and this will help you take it forward. So if I would pick something from all this to start watching and to better your videos after this training, I will start with the craft of video editing. So if you click on that link over there, you have a series of videos over here which will really help your craft video editing through an editing orientation. And this is what we're going to be covering today at a smaller level. So here would be like a more elaborate level. These are like our videos, so we can't cover them today. I just grabbed the most important information from all these videos and other things as well. So I will start watching some of those videos. If you want to know about just video editing, like our training is today, you can focus on this editing orientation. This is a great start for editing. Okay, so those are some resources that you have at your disposal to make your videos better after this. Okay, so let's start. So we're going to start by telling you a little bit about on how everything works, how everything goes together. So we're going to start with our review lesson. But first, I just want to quickly talk about our agenda. So our agenda is post-production, our main focus. We covered that first document. Then we're going to import media from your smartphone. So in the meantime, while I'm talking, a good thing to do, if you haven't done so already, is to download the Google Drive app on your phone. So Google Drive app, can't see it. So please, I'll put it in the chat too in case you can't hear me. So please download Google Drive app on your phone. And this is if you are going to be using your phone as your camera. So if you're going to be using your phone as your camera, I would download this app on your phone. It's a free app, and then sign in to your school account because you have unlimited data there. So in case you don't know this, all our school accounts, you can upload all the media you want. You have unlimited storage. So download this on this phone. Download this app on your phone. Then what you want to do is upload any media you want in there. And you call this summer tech video footage. If you don't have any media that you want to work on today, you can download this. If you click on this link right here, it will open up and you have a sample video to learn to edit, and it's called Castles. So what you could do is you could download that media and then you would upload it to this folder. Again, if you don't have media on your phone that you want to use for today's demo, then you can download this. You can do it on your computer or Chromebook, and then in your Google Drive, you would create that folder. So downloading apps and uploading footage takes a little bit of time. So I want you to get started with this. Okay, so let's break it up in two parts. The first part will be the smartphone. People, if you have footage on your phone, please download the Google Drive app that you want to use. Does anybody need help with downloading the app on your phone for people using your smartphone as a camera? Type in OK in the chat if you're OK. And type a question if you have a question. Okay, that's good. All right. People are paying. Oh, people are paying attention. Okay, so Tim's not using. Okay, so Tim, just hold on a second. Okay, so does everybody have the app? Okay, good. So once you sign in, so sign in with your school account. So Noemi, so what we're doing right now is like if you're going to be using your smartphone as your main camera, or right now if you have footage on your smartphone that you want to use for this training, you're going to download the Google Drive app on your phone, sign in with your school account because you have unlimited storage on your school account, and now we're just simply creating a folder on your on the Google Drive with your phone. You could also do it on the computer, and then we're going to upload a file to it that you have on your smartphone. So we're going to do that first part, and we're doing this first because uploading does take some time, especially if we're not at school using the fast internet. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. Well, no, you can't see it at all. Okay. So so if you have an iOS device, which is an iPhone, on the bottom right, there's a folder called Files. So I can't see it. Okay, but just listen to me. So on the bottom right, there's a folder called Files. Anybody not find that folder? So type in help if you need help. Okay, next. So yeah, on the top, you have two choices. You have My Drive and Share Drive. And so My Drive is your personal drive where you have all your media or documents, whatever you want in there. It's personal and nobody can go into it other than you. Shared drive is kind of like your drive, but it's shared with anybody who has access to it. So in this case, we're going to be creating a folder in your personal drive, and there's a little button on the right. And it says create new, and you're going to create a folder. All right, let's try this. My exposure is really off on this camera. Aha, there it is. It's coming. So it says folder. So you click on folder. Okay, I can't download any more apps. I don't have enough space. What other options do I have? The answer is if you are going to be using your smartphone as a recording device for videos, you must have enough storage to record a video clip. So if you don't have enough storage on your phone to record, you have a couple options. Option number one is the most obvious, is to erase stuff that you don't need on your phone. And option two would be to get a thumb drive, or also called a flash drive, which allows you to store externally. So it will be connected to a lightning port, which is what's on the bottom of the iPhone, to a thumb drive, and then you can store it there as well. So all you're doing right now is you are opening up the Google Drive app on your phone, and you are creating a folder, and you're going to call it Summer Tech Video Footage. Yes, you can use vertical video for this training, but just keep in mind that in the future, you don't want to do that. That's all. Okay, so you click folder, and then you call it summer tech video footage. And the reason why we create a folder is because we want to keep everything organized. So let's see, can you see that? I gotta wait. So in there you have, and you can see I have a bunch of folders, and just call it summer tech video footage. And now you have a folder where you can drop media in it. So now we have this folder, and we are ready to import media. So you go to your photo app, and you find a clip that you want to import, or a picture, let's say. Okay, so in this case, I have a picture of my motorcycle that I want to put into the drive. So on the bottom left, you can see, stop playing the video. On the bottom left, there it is. You see that little square with the arrow pointing up. Now you should be familiar with that because the button used to email a video to your friends or send a picture to your friends. So you're probably familiar with this button. You have options of people that you want to share with, and you have apps that you want to share, your airdrops. You have a bunch of information there. So all you do is you find the Google Drive app. It's a little triangle. You click on it, and then you make sure you're in the right Google Drive folder. So you have that file. You select folder. So it gives you option between My Drive and Share Drive. So you go to My Drive, and then you have all your folders in there, and you scroll down to find Summer Tech Video Footage. Select it, save here, upload. Pretty self-explanatory. There's no reason to write this down. You just have to play with your phone. I mean, it's everything I tell you, there are many different ways to do it, and technology changes all the time. So I teach you one way today, and then tomorrow it could be different. So that's what's about technology that you need to be flexible with. Today, we're going to review the theory part, which will never change. Just be more information add to it. But the technology part is what you need to be flexible. So, and you don't have to do it exactly the way I told you. And it works this way. You could even email it to your computer and then upload it to your Google Drive in that way too. So it's basically, you need to understand the concept here. The concept is you have something on your phone that you don't want it on your phone, and you want to put it on your Google Drive to share. So in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to grab that file and you need to upload it to the Google Drive. So just like you would share a picture with your friends in the chat, it's the same exact thing. Instead of choosing chat, you choose Google Drive, and then you navigate to your folder. That's all you're doing. Anybody lost with those steps? Okay, thank you, Julie. I have no problem telling you again or showing you again. Just keep that in mind that technology changes. You just have, if you memorize the steps, it doesn't really work that way. You need to understand the theory behind it. Your objective is to get this image in there, and that you just have to navigate to figure out how to do it. Thank you, Teresa. Does anybody need help with this part? So this will be the end of uploading footage onto your shared drive with your phone. So at the end of the day, when you've shot all this footage on your phone and you want to start editing in WeVideo, one way that you can do it is by uploading all your footage from your phone, because your phone it's called local storage. So anything you film on your camera, it's going to store locally on your phone. And if you don't have storage on your phone, then you can't store it because you don't have any storage. There are other things out there. For example, iCloud. iCloud will allow you to do a little bit of both. So first you film with your phone and it's stored on your phone. And then with iCloud, what it does is copies your footage on the cloud, like iCloud, and it still gives you access to your everything here as well. But it gives you a lower quality, so it has more storage, so it optimizes. So there are a lot of like nuances on how technology works. And once you understand the main concept, you just have to navigate through them. Okay. Okay. So at this time, everybody using footage from your phone, please go ahead and follow those steps and upload all the footage that you want to use for today's training onto the folder. Okay, now let me talk to the people who have don't have footage, or maybe have footage on your computer or on an SD card because you use the camera. In this case, what you're going to be doing is you're going to click on the download button on the right, and you're going to find a clip right here. So there are two ways you could do this. The first way is to download it and then upload it into your personal Google Drive, because this is a link here. Another way you could do it is you could copy it and then drag it into your drive. So let's do the simplest way. Simplest way is right-click and click download. And then download the video. So at this time, if you are downloading, you don't have any footage, and you can download some footage. Click, where to go? Click on this link. Okay, not this one. Click on this link called download, and then you can download this clip onto your computer. And then you're going to upload it to your drive. So you sign into your drive on your computer. And you find a summer tech video folder that you created. This is a video that I uploaded from my phone. And then I'm working on a Mac, so it might be a little different. Okay, I need to share my, if you're working on a Chromebook, but basically the same thing. You have to navigate to the download folder. Okay, I'm presenting my screen. Okay, that's good. So navigate to your download folder. So it will be folders. So look for downloads wherever your download folder is, if you have a Mac, PC, or Chromebook. Find a sample video, and then just drag it into the summer tech video footage, and then upload it. If the information was if your video was on an SD card, you don't have to download it. You just have to plug it in your SD card and then drag it into the summer tech footage. So it does take time to download and upload, but we want to make sure that we all have footage that we can edit with. So let me give you about 4 minutes of time to download the footage and upload it into a folder called Summer Tech Video Footage. So let me give you just a few minutes of time so we can get that done. Okay, everybody tell me their progress with getting some footage in their Google Drive. So so type in perfect. If it's perfect, you understand everything and it's in there. Type in more time if you need a little bit more time to upload it, but you still get it. And type in so lost if you're lost.
Scott, can I ask a question?
Yes, Kathy.
I got a short video from my computer and I saved it onto my Google Drive, but then when I click to open it, it says that I have to download a zip drive or something. Do you know why it's doing that?
Not sure exactly why. So I'm thinking it's because when you have multiple files, what it tries to do is it tries to zip it. Zipping is basically grabbing multiple files and compressing them together and then downloading them.
Okay, let me try again.
Are you just trying to do one file or multiple files?
I thought I was just doing one, so let me try again and make sure.
Okay, anybody else having some issues? Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so the next thing is I have access to the paid version of WeVideo. So this means you have access to it as well. So for our training today, we're going to be using the paid version of WeVideo. There is a free version out there as well. It's quite limited. You can only have less than 5 minutes, not access to a lot of transitions and so forth. So if you click on this link right here, let me go back and my screen something's not sharing. Okay, let me try to share again. Okay, it's working. So let me go back so you can see what I was doing. So on the presentation, I think we're on page 12 right now. There's 12 on the bottom. So WeVideo is divided into two parts. We have the paid version and we have the unpaid version. The unpaid version gets you kind of started, but it's very limited. So my suggestion would be to use the paid version. So in today's training, we're going to be using the paid version because I have access to it, which means you also have access to it as well. Until school starts, maybe a week after at the most, then my subscription expires. But please use it as much as you like right now. So WeVideo, can get a bit expensive. Class. So I believe I got mine for $800 for 1 year for 100 users, something like that. And if you are interested, in getting a quote, contact WeVideo, and then they can write you a quote as well. I have a contact information if you want somewhere maybe, but just just email them for a quote, and I would send it to your PLC lead, to your assistant principal, or to your principal, and ask them if it's possible to buy WeVideo for your class for school. Maybe even the district has it. I think at ours we're supposed to get it, but we never got it. Okay. But don't worry, you have the free version, I mean the paid version right here. So on this link says join Scott's organization. So you have two options: join with an existing account or a new account. So everybody, please, how did I turn invisible? Okay. So join with a new account. Can everybody see my window says create a free WeVideo account?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Jen, for posting the link. So using this specific link is the specific link that you would use to sign up for my account. And so you have access to the paid version until it expires, probably in a couple weeks or so. So you click on the green one, choose new account, sign in with Google is the easiest way. Choose your school account, and then you're in. Anybody having trouble signing up for WeVideo? This is the paid version, yes, Jen. So I want everybody to try out the paid version for our training today and keep using it as much as you want. I'm not sure if I'll renew it because we're back to school. If we're not back to school, I'll renew it. But I don't know how many students we're going to have.
Scott, I was just a little confused. Maybe I'm not reading slowly enough, but there are two links. There's get the paid WeVideo software here. So I posted that, and then there's also a link to paid version for you to use until school.
You know, I put it in twice just in case. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so I posted it twice.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same link. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I put a safety net in there. Okay, so join with new account, sign in with Google, sign in with your school account, and you're in. So we have 28 people here today, so I have enough licenses for everybody. So please sign into the paid version so you have the full version if you want to use this program. You can see its full potential. To purchase this for your class, for one user, for like just yourself, it's not that expensive. I think it's $5 or $10 a month. But to buy for your whole class can get really expensive, especially when you have 150 students, just like I do. So in that case, you know, it would cost more. I chose 100 because you know how we were like 3 classes one semester and 3 the other. So 100 was a good number. Okay. Okay. Anybody having trouble signing into WeVideo? Let me check GoGuardian. Okay. I think Julie's having trouble. I'm just kidding. All right. I don't have access to your computers. So please tell me if you have any issues. No issues. Did I become transparent? I became transparent.
Yes, you're transparent.
How funny is that? Now I turned.
Now you're stripes.
It's like technology is funny. Okay, I turned into stripes.
How are you doing that?
I have no idea what happened. All right. Okay, I'll go with stripes. Okay, so here is WeVideo. And templates are great to use if you're in a pinch and you don't have a lot of time to edit a video. What's great about templates, you can pick one that's kind of what you're looking for. For example, for science teachers, I want Science Today, and or newscast. I clicked on the newscast ones, and it opens up for you. And what's really great about it is that it has all this like information already there. It's basically the video done for you, and all you need to do is change your assets and videos. So for example, you get rid of the girl with the green screen, and then you put something else. You don't want eggs, you put, or what is that? Nuts. So you have so the templates are great if you're in a pinch, you want to get something done fast. Okay, question about, will this training be uploaded next week? I have to go to an, yeah, I can't talk anymore. So the way it works is that once this video is done, I upload it to this to the edX, and then the edX will post it probably next week. But if you want it earlier than that, you can just email me and I can just share the link with you. Okay, good luck, Eric, with your appointment. Thanks for checking in. So here are some templates that you can use, and now I'm going to show you how to create a project so you can start importing your footage. You're welcome, Eric. So create new. So a lot of you were talking about Loom and Screencastify to record your screens, and WeVideo does it all. So you go to, let me try it again. So let's go back to the home page. You click on Create New on the top left over here. So on the top left, it's white letters with a blue background. So you click Create New and you choose, for example, video if you want to make a video. If you want to do like a screen recording, you want to create a GIF, or you want to create a podcast. So if you click on video, even gives you options to do vertical if you want to do it for social media, but always do horizontal. So the next step is you can add it into a particular folder that you've created, or what you could do is create a new one. So if you haven't done one already, you'll be creating a new one. So yours will look like this. Under Media, click plus. Under Projects, I meant, and you can create the name of the project. So you could call this, let's say, Summer Tech Training. Then you have three options, or you can also put a description if you like: personal, collaborative, and shared. Personal is you're the only one making the edits. Collaborative is that a series of people who have the same account are able to share the same media, so everybody's working on the same video. And shared is everybody shares the media and everybody works independently. So this starts to get a little bit more convoluted. So my opinion would be to just start with personal, and then click next. And then you might have some footage here already. And if you don't, or you want to add some later, no worries, you can click next. And now you can create your video as well. So what we want to do is we want to import media into here. So you click on import, and we want to drag the media and drop it here. So there are many different ways to do this. The first way is you can drag and drop media here. So if you have it on your computer or your SD card, all you have to do is open up your computer, find wherever the footage is, and drag and drop just like that, and it will upload. The way WeVideo works is basically it works. It works just like a Google Drive works in a way. Is that nothing is really stored on your computer? It's just linked to another computer or a server. So basically, what you're looking is that you're not really working on your computer. You're connected virtually to a virtual machine, basically, and you're editing from that machine itself. Meaning that's why it works on a Chromebook that is not actually a computer. It's just like a way to connect to the internet because it has Chrome. It works on a PC as well, and it works on a Mac as well. So it just connects to it. And everything is stored there. So what we need to do is grab the media from wherever it is and import it into the WeVideo server. It's like their Google version of a Google Drive, or the iCloud, kind of like their Apple version. So we are connecting to this and working. So internet is very important. Without internet, you won't be able to connect to it. And what I learned from WeVideo is even if you have bad internet, it doesn't work as well, obviously, but it still works, which is great. It doesn't just shut down on you. So option one is the footage is on your computer, like an SD card. All you can do is just find the footage and just click import, and it will import it and then upload it onto the computer. The way that I showed you is with the Google Drive, because the reason I choose Google Drive is because you can use your smartphone. And you can use your smartphone to record videos in class and then upload them to the Google Drive, or you could have stuff on your computer and then you can upload to the Google Drive. And just the Google Drive is just like one area where you can save it. You can import from many different types of social sites. I just prefer the Google Drive because we have unlimited storage. In WeVideo, we don't have a limited storage, how much we can upload, but in the Google Drive, we don't. So that's just one of the social sites we could use. We could use Facebook, we could use Box, Instagram, Dropbox, and some other stuff. So because we use Google Drive, there's a little icon on the bottom left with a little triangle. It looks like Google Drive. Looks like a triangle for the Google Drive. So I'm still transparent. I don't know what happened. And I clicked no backgrounds. Okay. But at least you guys can hear me and you can see my screen. So let's just go with that. So under My Drive, you have a list of all your media. I love to choose the list view because it organizes like this in a list. And then I go to Summer Tech Videos. I find the videos that I want to import. I can select multiple ones at the same time, which saves you time instead of one at a time. And then click Select. And then the videos will be uploading onto the WeVideo server for you to be, creating your video. So we have these two clips. As you notice, there is a blue bar that's called a progress bar, and that means that the video is processing. So that's the video of my motorcycle, and then here's the sample video to learn editing as well. So those are the two videos that I uploaded for today's folder. So this does take some time to do. If you have fast internet, it will go faster. If you have slow internet, it will go slower. So pretty much that. So what I want you to make sure is that while I'm talking, is that you are doing this, so you get all your footage uploaded so we can do a quick edit. So at this time, I want to know that if I lost anybody on these steps on signing into WeVideo and opening up your first project and uploading your media. So please tell me in the chat one more time, perfect, that you understand everything we've done so far. Okay, meaning that you just need more time. And lost, if you are lost, and maybe be specific where you're lost so I can help you.
Scott, it's Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
Hey. So I was trying to do this on my big computer, which was a hand-me-down from an old school. And what I've found is when I try to go into my drive, it doesn't do my school drive. So I was gonna download the app onto my phone because I have the video on there. Probably the best way to do it, yeah?
If the video is on your phone, my suggestion is to just do it directly.
I got it into my drive. When I open my drive from my old work computer, it brings up my old work drive. And
you just have to sign out of that drive into the new drive.
All right, thanks.
And then you should be fine. My video is slowly uploading from the drive. Okay, yes. So it does take some time to process it. Another way you could be organized is you create folders. So I have some folders and some empty folders. Okay, so it looks like everybody's okay so far. Okay. Okay, she seems she's okay. Let me know if something doesn't upload. It takes a little bit of time to understand the workflow in WeVideo, and we're going to be covering that moment. Let me repeat my instructions just in case I lost somebody and they're too shy to speak up. So once you open up WeVideo, you say up here on the top left, you can create a new video. So let me try to share my window. Maybe that'll make it easier. Okay, so on the top left, it says create new. And in this case, we're creating a video, so we choose video. If you already created a folder, you can create a folder. You can choose the same folder, for example, summer tech training, or what you could is create a new folder. And when you create a new folder, my advice is to start with personal. So personal will be only you will work on it. And then you start editing. So to get the media inside here to start editing, what you want to do is you want to import the media. So here's some, as you can see, I'm scrolling up and down. You can see some clips. On the left, underneath stock media, underneath, so under top left, under WeVideo, My Video, stock media, there's a button called import. And you can click import. And here you could drag your footage if it's on your computer, or if it's uploaded from your smartphone to Google Drive, you can click on the Google Drive icon and then navigate to your drive or wherever drive you're using, where your footage is. Open up the folder that you created earlier, summer tech video footage, and you select the clips that you want to import. You can select multiple clips to save time. When you do that, it will process, and it'll have a progress bar on the bottom. And now the footage is being uploaded. So I think the hardest thing in WeVideo is what we just did right now. To understand this concept of working on the server is to get the media from your phone onto WeVideo. I think that's the hardest thing to do. But if you think of Google Drive as an intermediary or middleman, in order to get the footage in there, that's the simplest thing. Because sometimes you plug in your phone into your computer and it doesn't work because the way it's protected. This is the best way to do it, to get the footage from your phone. If you have a camera, it's super easy. You just plug in the SD card and you just drag the footage in there. You don't even use your Google Drive. Okay, so that's the recap. Okay, so we are going to be editing using the 10-step editing process, which I'll cover momentarily. I'm going to be editing our first rough cut and polish your video. And if we have time, we can also review some of your videos if you like. It's recommended. Okay, so this is the filmmaking lesson that I covered last year. If you joined me last year for this training, and this year I focus more on WeVideo like I did. So I'm going to go through this really fast and just kind of give you a quick overview. If you have never done anything in video and film, do you understand it's just not grabbing the phone and recording a video and uploading to YouTube. It's much more than that. Okay, so filmmaking is actually divided in 5 steps. Development is where you have an idea and you flourish it like a seed. Pre-production is when you start planning everything for your filming. Production is the filming part. Post-production is the video editing, our main focus today. and sales and distribution is how you're going to sell your product and distribute it. So development, you get an idea, a story, create a log line, which is a one-sentence summary. Pre-production, you make preparations, you think every step carefully, you do have a plot of the story. So this is all tied into English. And your script is created. There's a specific way that you write a script, and this is the way you do it. You create a storyboard, which is a visual illustration of the shots that you're going to be taking. Here's an example. Production is the filming part where you film all your segments together, and you want to make sure you have proper camera angles and shots, because it's really boring to just have one shot or one type of frame. So you want to mix it up by having a close-up. It gives you greater emotional impact. Medium close-up, eye-level shot. These are just some shots you should be using in your videos. Medium shot, full body shot, wide shot. Usually the way you see the world is in a wide. And you want to make it more interesting than that and choose more different types of shots. Over-the-shoulder shots, and everything you film, you need to focus on the rule of thirds. So imagine a tic-tac-toe you see on the bottom of the screen here. You want to make sure that you have equal spacing left and right, and you follow this rule of thirds. So for example, here, I do well with visual examples. The girl is looking straight ahead. Her chin is not cut off. Her head's cut off a little bit, which is okay, but eyebrows are not cut off. Here we have positive, negative space. The positive space is on the right with our image. Our negative space is the empty space on the left. We have the building, the castle on the right side, on intersecting lines. Puppies looking towards the left. We have that space in front. Runner has space in front. Her running follows the rule of thirds, and so forth. So these are other examples. So post-production is what our main focus is today, is importing media to the computer. So that's the step we were working on today. Just now with WeVideo, which I think is the hardest part of WeVideo. But you get that down, it's much simpler from that on. So post-production is really divided in three main parts. Import the media to the computer. And there's a job for that in filmmaking. It's called digitizer. Digitizer because you digitize the media, because we're not using film as much nowadays. We edit following the 10-step editing process, which we'll be focusing on today. And then we export the final video to a hard drive, web, YouTube, Google Drive, etc. So our delivery of our video as well. So the 10-step editing process is divided in two categories. The first category is called a rough cut, which is basically just all the elements of your video are there. You have your beginning, your middle, your end. All the clips are there. There's nothing extra that you don't need. But everything is cut out and everything is organized properly, but there's no bells and whistles in there. There's no transitions, there's no text, there's no video effects, there's no additional audio, and it's just the basic bones of it, like skeleton, basically. And then the polishing part is when you add all those different parts of the body in there as well. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Sales and distribution is how you're going to sell your product, who you're going to show it, how it's going to be distributed. Okay, so let's focus on the 10-step editing process. So the first thing you want to do is you want to think, what kind of video am I making? In this case, you already filmed it and you already wrote the video. So you write your script so you know what you want to do. So you just don't go out there and start recording unless you're doing like a documentary, but even those are planned as well. So you want to start thinking on how you want to plan your video in your head. So you have all this footage that you've recorded and you want to make sense of it. Because has anybody seen The Shining by Kubrick? Anybody seen that movie?
Yes.
Yes. And did you know that the director took a lot of takes for each scene? When I say a lot, I'm talking 30 to 120, which means that we could have anywhere between 30 to 120 different versions of The Shining, because the director Stanley Kubrick did this on purpose. So he wanted to capture the essence of the actors going crazy, going nuts. And when you're doing something 30 or 120 times, go crazy. So that's what he was trying to capture. So here's Johnny when he goes through the door with the axe. He breaks down the door and his head pops into the hole. That was like the 35th take and so forth. So you have all this different media for your video, and you want to make heads and tails. The most important thing you think about video editing is called less is more. So the less you have, the more you keep your audience thinking and wondering. Because if you put too much, it gets mundane and boring. So what you want to do is grab the essence of what you want to do, and you start gathering all the media that you want. So your text, animations, effects, media, and so forth. So step 3 is you start building your story according to the script and storyboard. So you look back at your script and you look at your storyboard and you start assembling on what you planned before in the first, the previous step, which is pre-production. Then once you watch it the way that you planned on doing it and the way you filmed it, then you start thinking about, I really think scene 4 shall go before scene 3. And then you start organizing and moving clips or even whole scenes in a different order because you pick what works better. And in the meantime, you're also trimming, which is you're doing different editing techniques. For example, the roll, ripple, razor blade, and all this stuff really helps you become a better video editor. And that's your rough cut. Your polished cut are the bells and whistles, like transitions, text, video effects, additional audio, and so forth. So let's get going. So at this time, everything should be uploaded. So we have our sample media right here. So when I click my media, it plays on the screen on the right. So the media is linked to this window over here. So this window represents the clips that I have here. So if I click on here, I see the window. If I want to see more window, I can grab these 3 dots here in the middle of the screen, and I can move it left and right to make the window bigger or smaller. The advantage of this is that with a bigger window, you can see more of your footage. The disadvantage is by making it bigger is that the timeline gets smaller. The timeline is what's here on the bottom. On the bottom, you have an audio track and 2 video tracks. One limitation of iMovie is that you can only have 2 video tracks, which means that it limits on how many video tracks and graphics and titles that you can add. In WeVideo, it starts with 2 and 1 audio, but you can always add more. The way that you add more is right here on the left. There's a little plus. It's a little plus sign. You click on the plus sign, and then you can add an extra video track or an extra audio track and so forth. So everybody go ahead and let's do one more video track. So you have 3 video tracks. And then move your screen a little bit right now. So you can see all 3 video tracks and 1 audio track as of now. Okay, so as a reminder, what I said is when you click, it will play on the screen on the right. And on the bottom here, you can click this plus here to add more video tracks. So when needed, we're going to add just 1 more so you know how to add one in case you want to add one later. Okay, so type in OK in the chat when you've created the video track and you're OK so far. Thank you, William. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, anybody need help so far? Anybody lost? Because we're gonna get right into it now. And okay, so no worries. Teresa. Just make sure you have WeVideo open, have your video there, and follow along the best you can. If anybody gets stuck, please interrupt me with your voice. That's fine. I can stop. But I can't get my colors off. I don't know what's going on. I probably have to sign out, but if I sign out, everything will be lost. All right. Okay, so click on the clip. It's represented here on the right on the screen. You can click play right here on the bottom. The bottom here is your timeline. On the left over here, you have My Media, shared and project media. So you can look at your media or any shared media you have with other people or your project media. So I like to keep it on My Media. Also, we talked about the import button here on the left side. The import button allows you to import other video clips. Record is a great feature if you want to record your screen on your computer, or you want to record the webcam on your computer. So you record your face. So if I click record right now, I can do webcam, I can do screen, or screen and webcam. So this eliminates you learning another program called Screencastify or Loom as well. I know this is a paid program, but it has that capability as well. Narrate is voiceover. So if you want to do a voiceover in your video, you can do that as well. Okay, next, on the top over here, under My Video, you have stock media. So if you need anything interesting, copyright-free, to make your video more interesting for different students, for PSAs, for how-to videos. So there's some media you could use there as well. There's also a search engine as well that you can choose. My Media, again, this is your media that you're going to be using. Text is where you have your titles. You have different categories for titles. You have motion, which stands for motion graphics, which basically means titles that move. So if I click on this one over here, it creates a beautiful graphic like that, and then you can just click it and change it. I'll show you how to do that in a moment, and just giving you a quick tour of all the buttons. Static means titles that stand still. In season are like pretty cool ones like graduation, Happy Father's Day. So already stuff created for you. Call outs or just like these different animations as well. Audio, you have access to some free music, sound effects, and premium music as well. So all this stuff has been grayed out with the free version. And these are copyright-free songs that you can just add in your video or sound effects as well. Transitions allow you to transition from one clip to another to make it smoother. Depending on which video you're doing, it will depend what type of transitions you're doing. The majority of the time, you should be using crossfade, which fades between two. And always start and end the video with a dip to black, which is basically a fade in and a fade out of black. If you're doing something like a music video or maybe even a PSA, but definitely a commercial, you can start having a lot of fun with these different transitions as well. When you click on it, it gives you a little preview on the right. And you got some more transitions over here. Backgrounds, in case you want a background in your video or a solid background, you have those options as well. So this is a pretty solid program, I think, especially for working all online. You have these cool little effects, bang, pow, so to make your videos a lot more interesting as well. Frames, you have this beautiful frames as well. So you can just basically click around and see what you like. The bottom over here is the most important part, in my opinion, because this is where the video editing happens. This is your edits. All your edits will be going down here. So let's start editing. So you go under My Media. Find the sample video to learn to edit. So let's say we wanted to start the video with the character looking left. So let me play the video back in. So the video starts out with this beautiful shot of the sky and the ocean. And then we have a picture, a medium close-up over the shoulder shot of our character. So let's say we wanted to extract this clip from there. So there are various techniques on how to do this. I'm going to teach you the best way to do it without wasting time. And that's called the 3-point edit. The 3-point edit has 3 different points. Your in point is where you want to begin it. Your out point where you want to end it. And your third point is when you put it in your timeline. So let me demo the 3-point edit. So first I figure out where I want to start the video. So let me back it up just a hair. There. So I want to have this guy over here. So what I do is I move the playhead, which from black turns into green, and I move it to where I see this frame. So I just grab it and drag it there. And now I have my endpoint. So my endpoint signifies where I want the video to start. So everybody grab this little black arrow slider and then move it to some part in the video where you want to start. You want to try to get the first person, that's fine. So go ahead and just try to move it. Just slide it over. All you're doing is just sliding it over. That's considered your endpoint. If you are using iMovie or Final Cut or Premiere or any other programs, the button will be known as I for your endpoint. It's the same technique used in the professional programs. Then your out point is this other point over here, and that's where you want to end it. So let's say I want to end it right there. Maybe a little more up. Okay, I want to see a little bit of ocean just before the chair. Okay, now I've selected this little sliver right here. This little sliver, that's what I want to extract. Because if I brought the whole video clip down, it's 12 minutes, 51 seconds, and 23 frames. So if I move that all the way down, then it's going to be really hard to edit. So the way I do it is I just do that. I move that small little clip down. And now I have the clip of the guy turning left and then of the ocean. So that's my first edit. So in, out, and then drag it down is your third point. So everybody practice on how to do a 3-point edit. This is crazy important when you're dealing with footage that is longer than like 10 seconds, I would say. This clip is 12 minutes, over 12 minutes long. So if you have something 10 seconds, there's another way you could do it, which I'll go over to. So our first editing trimming technique is called 3-point edit. So let me demo one more time. So I'll do it somewhere else in clip. So move my slider to the left where I want to start it. My slider on the right is where I want to end it. And then I drag it down, and I have my second edit. Okay, third time's the charm. Let me show you a third time. So click on my clip. I want to start it, let's say I want to start it here, and I want to end it there. and then I just drag the clip down, and I have my clip. That's called the 3-point edit. If I leave black, like I see, you see right here, or space in between, that will be called slug, which is black, which is the screen just goes to black. Okay. Okay, so I would like everybody to do at least three different 3-point edits. So click on your clip, figure out where you want to start it, where you want to end it, and then drag it down. You don't have to like really pay too much of attention right now because we only have 15 minutes left. But just I want you to just practice the technique. The technique is something that you need to understand in order to do the 3-point edit. The creative part, where to cut it, how to cut it, that comes with time. That's the creative part. Okay, so let me give you 1 more minute to have some edits in your timeline. Anybody lost so far? Yeah.
I'm not lost. I have the beginning and the ending, but I'm having trouble dragging.
Okay, so let me show you again to drag. So let's say you have your beginning and ending just like here, and then you drag the clip from here. So it's this, you just drag the footage clip from here. If you grab that, it will come down just a little sliver.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you have 3 clips in your timeline, which is this right here, type in ready, so I know you're ready for the next part. I want to show you 2 more editing techniques, 2 more on how to cut your footage, which I believe are incredibly important. I covered the most important one right now, which is 3-point edit, but there are other ones that are also important. This one's called 3-point edit. And the reason for this, why it's important, is because it allows you to grab a little sliver of a clip without bringing the whole clip down and cutting it, which will save you hours and hours of work. You want to become an efficient video editor, 3-point edit is the first thing you do. No matter how professional you are, you always start with the 3-point edit. Always start with the 3-point edit. Okay, Kathy's ready. Thank you. Robert is ready. Anybody else need more time? Type in more time if you need more time, so I know to wait. Okay, let's move on to our next editing technique. Our next one is called the ripple edit. The ripple edit, think about it when you throw a rock in the pond and it creates these little ripples, these little circles. So each circle that's created ripples across the pond, which affects everything around the pond. So a ripple edit will affect everything to the right of your ripple edit. All right, so let me demo that. So in this video, we have this guy talking.
Putting you on this Columbia project. Trying to be on the line here. 6 p.m.
Okay, so let's listen to it again.
I'm taking a big risk putting you on this Columbia project.
Okay, so let's say you wanted to finish right there, where it said big risk putting you on this Columbia project. So I want to basically go where my playhead is. My playhead is this blue line that I have going up and down. That's called my playhead. So I don't want any of this footage here on the right. I just want it to end right where the playhead is. The way that you would do it is you grab this the edge of it, and you are rippling the clip. You're dragging it and making it shorter. And then you play it to make sure it's good.
Taking a big risk putting you on this Columbia.
And we got rid of project, so extend it just a little more.
Putting on this Columbia project.
Okay, and just a hair more, a couple more frames.
Risk putting on this Columbia project.
And there we go. And now we have it. Now we have this empty black space here. We just grab the other clips, move them down, and we're good.
I'm taking a big risk putting on this Columbia project.
So a ripple edit is basically just grabbing the edge of a clip and stretching it or collapsing it, making it like this. Let me give you another model. Like making it longer or shorter. And just keep in mind, it won't go on forever because the clip, it has a certain length. If there's no footage, it will not extend beyond that footage because there's no footage. So if it stops, it means that there's no more footage. That's called a ripple edit. So everybody take a minute to just practice with some of the clips that you have on your timeline by making it longer or shorter. Yes, Julie, everybody will have access. I'm sending the video to the edtechs, and then they will distribute to the whole district. But you can always email me, and I can send you the link as well. I know it's a lot of information to do. But one thing, say if you're lost and you're not sure what to do, on the top right of the screen, there's a question mark. And then you click on the question mark, and you type in what you're looking for. So you just type in what you're looking for example, titles or something. In addition to that, what's great about WeVideo, it even gives you like educator resources. It gives you like little help videos, how to import media, intro to projects, and so forth. So you have other videos as well, and you can watch those as well, and then they will help you because we only had like 2 hours to learn. We're not only learning WeVideo, we're also learning the theory behind it as well. Why to cut and how to cut and so forth. But those are great resources as well. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you for the rough cut is called I call it the razor blade cut because that's what we call it in Final Cut or also in Premiere. But here it's a scissor cut. So in order to understand what you're doing is you're basically doing the old school way of editing, which is you grab a piece of film and you grab some scissors and you cut the film, and then you go through it and you cut the other part you don't want and you throw it out and you paste the other piece together with tape. That's how it was done in the past for many, many years. But today we are doing everything digitally. So in order to do a cut in the middle of a clip, like say, for example, one of your students says a bad word by mistake, right? And then you don't want that in your video, obviously. So what you want to do is you want to cut that bad word out. So, or something inappropriate happens, you want to cut it out. So you click on the clip, and then you click this little scissor tool, and that will cut the video. Literally, it just cuts it. It doesn't do anything but cut it. And then you pass the part where there was the part you didn't want, and then you cut it again. Now you've selected this little sliver here that you don't want. It's highlighted in orange. And then you don't want that anymore, just push delete. So cutting using the scissor tool doesn't actually eliminate the video. It just makes cuts in your video. To erase it, you actually have to select the part that you cut. You have to make at least two cuts, and then erase it. And then you can move it over just like that. So you have multiple ways of editing. The best 3 ways on how to edit in WeVideo is using the 3-point edit first, the ripple if in case you didn't pick the exact out point or in point, and then finally to use the scissor tool. All right, so that's the end of the rough cut, which is trimming. Roll, ripple, slip and slide, those are a bit more advanced. Anybody need help so far with these parts here? So, no problem, Noemi. So in my opinion, that's the part you need to focus on most, because that's where the story is told. See, like my Google Meet is acting weird too. My video is not working. Okay. The next thing I want to show you are transitions, video, and text effects, and additional audio. So we do have 6 minutes of time. So let's hear from you. Do you want to use this 6 minutes to just work on what I've taught you so far, or would you like to spend this time to work a little bit independently and then do the evaluation? So option 1 is I continue, so type in continue, or option 2 is to work independently and just do the also do the eval. Correct. Option 2. Okay, so I see a lot of options. Yes, I understand. There's a lot of information here, but what I want you to just remember is that all that stuff like text, audio, transitions is all up here. And okay, let me put the eval in the chat. It's also on the slide presentation. Let me give you the last few minutes to work on the eval and to work on the presentation. So I think we do like another tech training in January as well. But keep in mind, you have access to the paid version of WeVideo. And if you do like it, I suggest that you ask your admins at your schools to get it for you. You're welcome, Stefan. And remember, there's this little question mark here. There are some great tutorial videos in here as well that you can look at. I wanted to get you started, but really understand the most important part of your video is the content. So by focusing on just a rough cut, that you can create great content for your videos. And feel free to email me if you have any questions. I can help you with that as well. The students and so anybody with the link that is in the chat. Where is it? Where's the link? Oh, the link that is in the slide presentation, which is here. These links are the same. Will work for about a week or two. I can't remember the exact date, but it was sometime in August when it expires. And anybody with this link will have access to the paid version. Correct. Yeah. So you can share it with anywhere you want. It's fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to renew this, but when I need it for my students, I'll just erase your account and convert you. It's not really erasing. I'll just convert you to free. Convert you to free. So you can still use it with a free account, and then you can pay it on your own if you want to continue using it. But you're welcome. So please use this as much as you want, and please make all your videos now. We have some time off before we start in-person instruction, and just have fun with it. It's a great program, and what I have to say is that I tried to use Adobe Spark Video, and it just didn't work. And I tried to use other programs as well, and they were just terrible. And I always came back to WeVideo, and I just thought this was the best one. You can even do green screen with this too, which is cool. Awesome. So if you're welcome. So if you have any more questions, you can sign out, and please do the eval. I'll put that in the chat one more time if you can. And please email me if you have any questions throughout the year. I'm available if you have questions. And you know, keep in mind that we're all here to help each other and to help make better videos and help our students grow. Okay. Somebody have a question? All right, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help, and we'll continue this back in January for the next session. We'll focus more on the polishing part of WeVideo. All right, you guys have a great weekend, and this marks the end of the EdTech session. So.
Thank you, Scott. Great job. Way too much information. We need you for an all-day workshop.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's hard to say everything in two hours, but I try.
Thank you. It's excellent.
But everything is here, so you can always go back to it. And Jen, what are we doing? Is it Monday? We're meeting, right? Not this Monday, but Monday after that.
My only concern about that is I think somebody said, I think it was Memo said that we were going to have structured stuff on Monday.
Oh, okay. So then we have to. But if we have to do it on Tuesday. But if freshman orientation is there Monday and Tuesday, then
right. So do you have any time before that?
Are we supposed to do something Friday next week?
I don't know. I was wondering if we should try and set up on Friday, so that on Monday it's all ready.
No, we can't leave like cameras out over the weekend.
No. I mean, like
the lights, yeah.
Just kind of setting up the space, and then be ready to just pull stuff out. I mean, like table. You said you're getting. When's the tablecloth coming, or did it come?
I don't know. I asked for approval and I still didn't get it. So it's only been 2 weeks.
Okay, so we might need. I have a dark green one. It's a big table. It has 2 leaves that go in.
Oh, good.
So it's already a rectangle, and then it has 2 leaves, so it's even bigger.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think I have meetings at RP all day Friday. So I'll just text you and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So, worst comes to worst, we'll do it on Monday or Tuesday.
All right. Yeah, maybe we come in half an hour early on Monday. I can do that.
We can figure it out. Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Are you welcome? We'd like to help you, Robert, Marisol. Okay, anybody else have questions? Everybody good?